One day, I was looking through my journal of planner thing, right? So I opened this book, I scrolled through the pages, and I saw different rows and columns that are drawn for different habits or activities I wanted to be doing, right? So read, wake up early, work out, exercise, arrange your room, take a shower, wash your face, blah blah blah. And also more so for my YouTube channels as well. Okay, upload two videos on this channel every week, three videos on this channel every week, one video here every week, two videos on TikTok, upload here, done, do this, do that, right? And I'd written out all the rows and columns on this journal, right? But it was empty. And the time I put there, like let's assume I put like a month, let's say March, right? And this was like May when I was looking through it. And I just felt sad, like not this shit again. Right? I have this bad habit of creating all these plans, randomly creating these plans, right? And basically not following through. Maybe maximum follow it for like a few days max. I thought I'd just completely abandon it. So I define or defined and I still define myself as a lazy fuck. Like just a lazy person, right? But at the same time I disagree because there are many moments in my life that I've done things that basically the average person would not do, right? So let me try to paint a picture. Like if I was really a lazy fuck like I claim to be, come on, just um when I did IT when I was in school, that was 300, so that was 2024, right? So IT is like internship, right? Like for one full semester, you just go to some company and go and work for them. And depending on the company, but one we're not getting paid, so we just like we just had to work there for free, right? So I worked in this ICT center in our school, right? And the basic like we were almost there were almost 20 of us, but out of the 20 of us, like a few of us were like the most hardworking people, right? Like the most productive people in the group. So our supervisors they won't just kind of preferred the productive people to the because the unproductive people they are just there to add number to the group. Like they are the ones that you tell go and do this thing and they'll just go and do something else. Then you have to go and, like chase them around and look for them and be like, didn't I tell you where everybody settle down and until you finish it, nobody's going home. And they will now finally grumble themselves and manage to do it and just end up doing a shitty job. So they will not even really do anything, they'll just hang around, just use time to dodge all the work and all that. But funny enough, I didn't fall into that category. I actually fell into the category of the people that were very productive, like the productive people that our superiors, like our supervisors, love to work with. And one of our supervisors one called me industrious, right? Like he said, I am very industrious. So I was basically one of the hardest working people there. And also, why I still believe that is still that same IT period, there was this geek that came up that they needed somebody to like go to represent the ICT center, and they literally sent me. They tried to send me, right? So if I was a lazy person, there's no way in the world they would have sent me. And other than that, in day-to-day life as well, if you like ask a lot of people that know me in person, they will say I'm not really. They won't really describe me as lazy. So I found it interesting that this side of me is very lazy, while this side is not lazy at all. And it's like why? So I'm going to bring all this together so to make it to make sense, right? But the simple reason I found is like I'm not lazy. It's just like the mood to work has not come out. The beast has not like good example I'll give is Hulk. So we all know the Hulk in Marvel movies, right? It's the big green monster there. So the regular like when he's a human being, when he's in his human form, anybody can see him and say he's weak because he's just like an average guy, right? But it seems that is he really weak? Yes, when he's in his human form. But once he transforms to the Hulk, nobody can say he's weak. Like at that point, he's like a beast, right? He's the stronger person in the world. So I realized that it's almost like you have to transform. You have to go through that your own transformation and all these different scenarios that little stories I told you about. It basically made me have that transformation. When I have that transformation, I'm not lazy at all. Like I'm productive as fuck. I can flip the world upside down. Right? So I found this very interesting that I feel like a lot of us I'm going to try to make everything make sense. But a lot of us try to lean into, like, we don't lean into that our transformative state, our superhero states enough, right? Because it's like we try to use our normal selves, like, against, like, the superhero stuff, right? Like, imagine the Hulk, he goes to go and fight some bad guy, right? Maybe the Avengers, they all go out to go and fight. So he follows them. It's almost like him just being in his human form, trying to join them in the fight. It's like you just cannot compete, right? Because your human form is basically not capable enough. But once he enters this state, like once he transforms to the Hulk, then he's like very capable. He's like maybe one of the strongest of them all, right? So it's the same thing with, in my opinion, with us, right? Because I've known myself for the longest time. I've not really considered myself a lazy person. Like, obviously, like I said in the journal thing, I'm lazy there, and in many other aspects. Like, if you look at my room, it's kind of scattered. Maybe it might not be see to, but like, you might argue I'm lazy in all those sense, but overall, I don't think I'm lazy. So why is it that if I'm not lazy, I struggle very hard to just get my basic shits done, right? It's like, why is it that, so I'll tell myself I'm going to upload every single day for the whole of this year, and I'll basically like I'm not doing it. So it's because, like, we have not transformed into that state, and a lot of us, I think this is one where the problem is a lot of us, we don't try to tap into that state, right? Like, when we think about self-improvement and making money and becoming successful and so on and so forth, this whole ecosystem, right? This niche, this world that we are in, me and you, I know you're in this world because you're here. Like, we think about, working your hardest, being very focused, being very disciplined, whatever. But that is, like, how I put it, that is a state for some people, right? Because one of my friends, right, one of our friends, also is kind of the same thing that, okay, maybe he's on an average day, you could argue he's a lazy person, right? But at the same time, not really, because even though, yes, he's quote unquote lazy, there are periods that we have seen this guy literally, like, work like crazy. There are periods we have seen this guy, like, do amazing, impressive things. But why is it that the average day to day doesn't do those stuff? Like, and it's one I noticed because my elder brother was also telling me, because my elder brother knows him a lot more than I do, that if you want him to be 10 times more productive, just put him in a group setting. Put him in a group setting with, his fellow, like, people that they are working towards some project, right? And tell them that, okay, this is your task, this is what we have to do, we have this deadline, like, so all of you are working together basically. And every, like, he's in a room with the whole group is working, doing whatever. All of a sudden this guy is going to become 100x productive. But if you just leave him in his room, with his laptop, like, oh, he has to do this thing, the guy is going to be lazy, right? So it's like a lot of us are kind of like that. But instead of us to now realize that, okay, I'm more productive in group settings, like, I notice that when I'm in group with people, like, I can work forever, right? It's like we continue to try to force that lone wolf identity. We continue to try to force that, whole, I work alone, I can do it myself, make money, success, the lonely chapter. And don't get this wrong, I'm not saying that, that's a bad thing, right? To some degree, that will be necessary at some point. But it's like, if that's not your superpower, you don't need to lean into it, right? Like, I find it crazy. The realization just hits me yesterday, this morning, that we have these superpowers. Yes, we don't lean into our superpowers, right? Imagine, superheroes. Like, I used the Hulk before, but let's use the one and I kind of like Spider-Man. I don't really watch all these superhero movies or stuff like that. But if they could ask me my favorite superhero, if I had to give an answer, it would be Spider-Man. Spider-Man. So, anyways, so Spider-Man's power is like he can shoot web, and he can swing with his web, and he can climb the wall and whatever. Spider-Man. So that's the superpower. But imagine him, he goes, he follows the Avengers to combat, right? And instead of him to use his power, like, he's shooting his web and climbing and, training stunts and whatever, he tries to run fast like Flash. He tries to run fast like Flash. Like, can you see how retarded that is? Like, he won't win. Like, he'll be very inefficient. He's going to lose. Or even if he won't lose completely, like, he's just going to be inefficient, right? And the thing is, you could argue that maybe you could train him to run as fast as the Flash, and they could give him, like, I don't know, some nuclear molecular particle accelerator, blah blah blah, that will help him speed his neutrons, and he'll be able to run fast eventually. True, but if he just leans into what he already has, which is just being Spider-Man, he's going to be 10 times more effective than trying to be someone else or trying to be something else. Now, the point is not that he can't train himself to be the Flash, like I said. It's just it's going to take more time, more energy, and it's going to be inefficient, right? So it's almost like he should first max out, his Spider-Man powers before he starts to look for other powers, like trying to be the Flash or whatever, right? So I think it's the same thing with us productivity and stuff. It's like a lot of us don't try to max out our default potential. So like that's my friend I use as an example. Is instead of trying to max out that okay, I notice that when I'm in a group setting with other people, like it just becomes too easy to work. Like I'll basically be the hardest worker in the room. But when it's just me by myself, home alone, I'm supposed to work or get things done. Like I basically won't do anything. So you try to maximize that. That's like spending as much time in group settings where it will force you to be productive and be able to work. The problem is a lot of us will still be trying to force that lone wolf that I'm going to stay home alone. I'm going to work from home and be productive and work by myself. I don't need nobody else. Blah blah blah. And like I said, there's room for that. Not to say that, but that's also some people's power. Now, for example, when I look back to those seasons and when I'm productive, I notice that it kind of sounds bad to say, but it's almost like when I'm doing something for other people, it becomes 10 times easier to just work and get it done. But when I'm to do it by myself, like I do not care. Like when it comes to doing the thing I want to do for myself, like I just become lazy as fuck because why bother, right? But once it comes to doing it for other people, and like I said, this is going to sound shallow, but honestly, I notice that once it comes to doing it for, especially to try to impress those people, all of a sudden, like I can literally flip the earth upside down. Like I have that type of power. Like I get into that my own Hulk state. So like I said, it's kind of shallow, but I think it's something I'm going to lean into a lot more. Like why, if I know that if other people are involved in something, right? So it's like if it's just me that's trying to get something done or achieve something, right? Whatever, I don't give a fuck. But if it's me and somebody and we're like actually involved, not that the person is just lazy or so, right? All of a sudden, I'm willing to work 10 times, 20 times, 100 times harder just to make sure we actually achieve that stuff because somebody else is there that I'm trying to like appease or appeal to or help or work towards. Like, I want us to grow this thing together, right? So, that's something I should lean into more and something you should lean into more as well. So, the little thing I'll use to summarize this little video is what is your superpower? What is your superpower, right? Like, I use the superhero example because I feel like it's easiest to understand. Superman trying to use what do you call it? Green Arrow, the Green Arrow guy that used to shoot arrows. Trying to use that like he's pretty stupid. Imagine Superman abandons all his super strength and his ability to fly and shoot laser from his eye and all the Superman stuff he can do. And he's trying to copy another person's power of just being very good at shooting arrows. Like he's inefficient because first of all he's not just going to be able to do it, and secondly if he eventually learns he can work his way up though, but it's going to take time, take a lot of energy, and be really inefficient. Instead, what he should do is just be Superman and be the best Superman he can be. And after he has maxed out like being Superman, he can start thinking, okay, now I want to be learn how to shoot arrows and very good. So then he can now be Superman and good at shooting arrows at the same time, right? So is you want to lean into your superpower first before you start to look at other people's superpowers. So if you are very good at, like if you are the type of person that can work alone and that's when you can focus the most, right? Like it's too easy for you to just like then go for it. This is not to say like this is not like I'm not here to preach like what you should do. Like you know yourself better than I do. So if you know you're the type of person that can, just do stuff alone and get it done, go ahead. If you know you're the type of person that you need group setting, go ahead. If you know you're the type of person who needs someone to keep you accountable, go ahead. If you know you're the type of person that likes to do things to impress people, go ahead. Right? But you want to just know that your superpower and really, really try to maximize it. And after you have really, really like maxed it out, you can now think, okay, I want to learn this new superpower of being able to work by myself or being able to do things alone or this or that. So that's basically it. The reason why I make these little videos is I always think back to my younger self and like that illustration I made at the beginning of the video, looking through my journal planner thing. and 3 months have gone by. I didn't even do one thing I written. So, right, it is because like this is something that would have easily made me be able to do it. Right, like a little way I can just put it is, for example, I'm trying to make more YouTube videos. Like, oh, I want to make videos and stuff. And one of the things I did now that is like helping me step into my superpower state is I kind of hired a video editor. So not fully anyway, but it's like one of my friends like going to help me out. So I also actually make videos to show this person that, oh, these are the videos I'm going to edit. If it's just me that's going to edit these videos, I don't care. I won't be bothered to make it. So that's one way I'm trying to move forward, right? Obviously, I will continue to develop it and go much further. But I would advise you to do the same for yourself. Like, look at yourself. What's like, how do you, look at the times you have been most productive in your life, the times that you've really, really gone above and beyond. And you yourself, you'll be surprised that I was able to do that. And look at all these times. Obviously, it's not always going to be one thing that causes it, right? But look at like the most common cause of these reasons why you're able to go above and beyond for all these things, and just lean into that a little lot more. I promise you to like change your world. Right. So if you want to, make more money or get more productive, you can subscribe to this channel. And I'm going to drop a program very soon that just goes more in depth into things like this. See you in the next video.